Hello everyone, welcome back to the kitchen table. Today on the kitchen table, after a brief break for recovery, basically going to round up everything from the UK drone show that happened the weekend that's just gone. And there's some really interesting, I think there's some interesting trends that were evident at the UK drone show, which are going to just going to push worldwide as well. So yeah, let's talk about that. Excuse the voice, I've literally, it's only come back in any sensible measure last evening. You know I like to talk, but 8 hours a day for 2 solid days is beyond even my capabilities. So much as I'd love to drink some of the booze that some of you very kindly dropped off when you came to see me, thank you very much for that. It's only just past 9 o'clock in the morning, so I'm definitely on the coffee. Cheers. Oh, shop bought. I haven't even had a chance to roast any this week. So UK drone show, yes. What a weekend. As you know, I've sort of been involved helping out the organisers behind the scenes for the last few months. And so it was a very long weekend because obviously we were there for the build-up day on the Friday morning and quite sleep deprived by the time Sunday came, staying late to sort some things out. But first of all, thank you to everyone that came. And on behalf of the organisers, I know that they wanted me to say thank you as well, because just the numbers of people we've got, it's unaudited, it's not quite official yet, but it's looking like there were more than 6,500 people through the door across the weekend. It's just phenomenal, and I think it's blown everybody away. The organisers, the exhibitors, it's just amazing. So thank you very much to everybody who came. Especially thanks to those of you who came to say hello to me. It was quite a surreal experience. I've actually got to confess, I have actually no show footage of my own. I didn't get a chance to go around just for me. I had to go around with a camera for doing some work for the actual UK drone show, but I didn't get a chance to go around for me. Saturday in particular, I didn't actually get off my stand until 3 o'clock. It was just unbelievable. There's a couple of shots that I was sent by a subscriber that you'll see there. It was fantastic, but madness. So thank you to everybody who came. Thank you for everybody who bought a little bottle of something, and we had Christmas cards and all sorts. And for those of you that supported the channel while you were there, that's brilliant. Thank you. So what I was able to do though was obviously after hours and before hours was get around and have a chat to a few people. And what were the highlights? Well, we had the FPV racing was a big highlight. I think that's definitely going to be into 2016 a hot ticket. It looks like those 250 little mini racing drones, the speed and the agility and everything else. There were lots of exhibitors there who were making custom frames and parts and high-powered motors and batteries for them, and they was doing big business. And seeing the racing live in such a big 60 by 40 arena, I think was opened a lot of people's eyes. I spoke to a few people who said, "Oh, I've got to get me one of those. Oh, they're not that expensive." And so there was I think the guys who do it professionally, in inverted commas, they make it look a lot easier than it is. But it's great fun. That was a big draw. Lots of exhibitors who were relating to that were doing a brisk trade. We also had the launch of the Ghost Drone 2 from Ehang, and I was speaking to Vincent from Ehang, and he's very kindly given the kitchen table a Ghost Drone 2. Lent us one of these to have a look at. Now I'm going to get my head around this, and it's quite a novel concept in terms of control. It's also quite a novel concept in terms of it uses pusher props. So again, when we get a period of calm and some decent weather, I'm going to have a look at what the Ghost Drone 2 is all about, and a drone that comes with a gimbal that you can plug a GoPro straight into, or even their own little camera, or anything else that's similarly sized. Apparently, we'll give that a good going over and see what that's all about. So they did a big UK launch, and lots of people were interested in what this can bring to the party. The other thing that I thought was interesting was the Xiro. XIRO, the Xiro drone, which was showing off that they've bought out a drone that's pretty much a standard quad, but their concept is that you have modular gimbal units, and if you've got a GoPro, you buy the GoPro gimbal and clip it on to the drone base that you've bought. If you then decide later on you would like to keep your GoPro for ground filming and you want to buy, an HD camera built in, again, they've got one on a gimbal. Going forward, there's things in the pipeline for infrared units and all sorts of things that can be added in, which is very interesting. And perhaps The biggest, not the biggest in terms of size, but the biggest stand I thought in terms of making a statement was from Unique. They had a very well laid out stand. Every one of their products had a plinth on its own and seemingly a product specialist to talk to. They weren't selling them as much as being there to tell you why they're, the next big thing in town. And you could just tell that they had absolutely thrown a lot of effort into it. They were also showing off some of their professional line, which I hadn't seen much of before, and very impressive looking kit they've got at the Pro line. Strangely absent, and perhaps that's reflective on, I don't know, DJI didn't really have a corporate presence there. They had a co-branded stand with firstpersonview.co.uk, who are a DJI dealer, and there was only really DJI equipment on there, and they sold out of all their gear on Saturday. Had to go back and get some more for Sunday, but there was nobody from, there was I think one marketing person maybe from DJI Europe. But other than that, there was no big push from DJI to say that, so are they, I don't know, are they complacent? Do they think they don't have to woo us, or did they just not want to get inundated, as people came to tell me? It's a shame they're not there, because I'd asked them why it's taking 9 weeks to repair my drone, and the Unique guys were there and answering a lot of questions and saying, no, we're turning around things in 4 to 5 days, and we can ship spare parts out to you within 48 hours and all this kind of stuff. And DJI weren't there. 3DR had a very token presence on Saturday, but then not on Sunday. And token in the sense that they bought a solo simulator and were handing out brochures, and that was it. So yeah, I wonder if those two underestimated the impact of the show, or whether or not they're sort of resting on their laurels, and I think there's a danger in them doing that. But yeah, great show. I made loads of content. I've got a stack of business cards this tool, so hopefully that will mean that we've got some really interesting stuff to get on the channel and have a look at. Because I think the next year, I think we're going to see a big push by the likes of Unique, guys like the Zero Drone, the EHang guys. They're all coming in, and they've got marketing budget to spend in the UK and in Europe, not just concentrate on the big American shows. Which I think is probably wise from their point of view. There were some great bargains to be had. I know loads of people coming up to my stand so they couldn't believe someone was selling 2 Phantom 2 batteries and a spare set of props for 100 quid. So I think if you got one of those bargains, well done. That's the bargain of the year so far, I think. And yeah, I've been speaking to the organisers, and I know they wanted me to pass on their thanks to you guys for coming and to the show, because and they're also not at all complacent, and they know that there were some things that didn't run smoothly. Apparently, I was told that the NEC was giving out information that the show gates opened at 9:30 or 9:45. It was always going to be 10. So I apologise if anybody was given that impression, because that was wrong, and we've told our NEC account manager that that's not going to happen again. The most people who had anything negative to say, it wasn't really a negative. It needs to be bigger. And I think that's probably going to almost certainly happen now. With a first show, of course, you've got to balance the risk that, you go all out and then nobody rocks up and it's a massive financial loss, and the exhibitors say, well, we're not coming again. It's a nightmare. So I think, caution was erred. But certainly I already know that here's a bit of an exclusive snippet. I think for next year, you can already look forward to maybe expanding into more than one hall, more than one large flight area, and a lot more space for, for exhibitors. We sold out of exhibit space, but we've already been inundated with people who are saying, really kicking ourselves, we didn't book for the show just gone, can we book for next year? So I think already that's going to be loads more to see and do. One big announcement was that Farnborough, the International Air Show at Farnborough, one of the world's biggest sort of trade air shows, and then sort of, crowd-pleasing flight demonstration air shows, is holding a UK drone show summer event this summer at the Farnborough International Air Show. Now the gate there is some 80,000 people. So if you've got tickets for the Farnborough International Air Show already, then there's going to be a sort of a UK drone show summer show at there included in the gate price. I'll put a link down in the description or somewhere, and you can have a look through to that. So I think good things are going to be happening going forward in terms of the UK drone show expanding. But there we go. Again, apologies, no footage. I know I saw a few other YouTubers going past. So there's plenty of people out there who were able to take footage. You'd have seen how busy it is and was. But yeah, great time. Again, thanks to everyone who came to say hello. That was fantastic to meet so many people. And really, I think 2016 is going to be really interesting. I think the thing that I think is that I think 2015 was probably the last year that DJI could rely on their longevity and their kind of position as the de facto number one go-to for the ready-to-fly market. I think 2016 is going to shift things. So there we are. That was just a brief update while I try and get everything back to normal and try and do all the things that have fallen off the radar in real life from the couple of weeks running up to the show. If anyone's got any specific questions or anything like that, please, as ever, put them in the comments. I'm going to do my best now that I'm back in circulation to catch up with all the comments again. But other than that, thanks for your support. If you came, thanks very much. It was good to see you. And if you didn't, hopefully when tickets get announced in the not too distant future for the 2016 show, we'll see you there. Thanks very much indeed. We'll see you soon on the kitchen table, but until the next time, cheers.